That's where we are. And it really is. And look, I understand Bengals fans of any team. I get how this works, people. You love your team, you support your team, and you're stuck with ownership. So you've got to, it's almost like excusing your friend who's an asshole. And I always was bothered by that. Every group of friends has one person who's an asshole.
At least.
And the rest of the friends spend all their time making excuses for the guy they've known since they were 6 years old who's an asshole. And I always say, well, no, it's for you, the rest of the friends, to get this guy to stop being an asshole. And so fans of the Bengals, your team's being an asshole when it comes to Shemar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson. And they were being an asshole last year when it came to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It's for you to put the pressure on them to stop, not excuse it, not defend it, but say, hey, you're right. All you people who are criticizing my friend, my favorite team, this ownership group I'm stuck with, you're right. We're going to put pressure on them to change. And it's astounding to me how many Bengals fans will get upset at those of us who are pointing out that they're just stubborn for the sake of being stubborn. They're cheap for the sake of being cheap. They're obstinate for the sake of being obstinate. And it's stupid. And what's going to happen? They're going to be not as prepared when week one rolls around as they could be. Just like last year.
Yeah, just like last year.
Multiple other years.
Yeah, I mean, the day before the game, a couple days before the Patriots game, a team that they should have blown out, won by 3 touchdowns, you're still wondering what's going to happen with the Jamar Chase situation, if he's going to sign or not. And he didn't sign, but he played anyway. And up into the game, Friday, Saturday before the game, he's
90 minutes before kickoff, he didn't know what he was going to do.
It's questionable. It has nothing to do with injuries. It has to do with the contract. There's no question that they cost themselves a playoff spot last year by messing around with the contract. But I wonder, Mike, if Bengals fans are defending, if they're mad because they're defending the Bengals, or they're mad at you for pointing this out because they're in this situation. It's what you just said off the top. It's like, hey, we can't fire the owner. We can't really, we're exhausted from trying to put pressure on him. He feels no pressure. Mike Brown, he feels no pressure. He has perfected this. This is what they do. So, oh yeah, fans, okay, are you not going to cheer for the Bengals? You're going to cheer for the Steelers now? You're going to become a Browns fan? I don't think so. You're going to move out of northern Kentucky, southwest Ohio? I don't think so. So you're stuck. And maybe that's why they're mad, because they're stuck with this. They love the team, and you think just when you think the team is going to change, and they sign Chase and they sign Higgins, and they put out this video, the social media video, like, hey, you didn't think we'd do it. We did it. You think they're about to change, and it's going back to the same old thing with Trey Hendrickson and with Shemar Stewart. It's really disappointing.
Well, and the Chase and Higgins deals, when you scratch on the surface, you realize both guys did deals that the Brown family and the Bengals wouldn't be upset about, that they weren't exactly the hardest bargains that the players were driving. And that was a benefit to the Bengals. They were able to get 2 of their key players signed to long-term deals that, from a cash and structure standpoint, weren't nearly as good for the players as they could have been. That's just the reality. And I think you're right. It's the frustration that they feel, and they don't know where to direct it. And they can't direct it at the team because that's not going to prove anything. So let's get mad at the people who are telling us that wrestling is fake, the people who are telling us that football is ultimately a business. They're not really trying to win Super Bowls, especially in Cincinnati. I mean, we've been hounding on the Cowboys, at least I have been for the past couple of years, because I believe that all this stuff from Jerry Jones about, I want to win badly, I want me some glory hole, one of his pull-string catchphrases. That's all bullcrap. That's all aimed at getting you, the fan, to believe it, so you'll keep giving him your money. And at the end of the day, profit is what he's motivated by. And I believe there's no facade. At least with Jerry, he's trying to convince you that it's about winning when it's not. With Mike Brown, He doesn't care. It's about profit. Carson Palmer said it years after he decided, I'm done with this team. He sat home. The Bengals are like, fine, we don't have to pay this guy. Stay home. It's more money for us. He said, when you put making money over winning, you've got no chance. And the Bengals have prioritized making money over winning forever. And they've stumbled into this Joe Burrow thing where it's like, hey, how about this? Best quarterback we've ever had. Ohio native. He's here. We have nice things now. Oh, wow, that gets expensive. We got to pay him. Well, wait, he wants us to pay these other guys? Oh, boy, this is going to be rough. What are we going to do? And I think that's the vortex that the Bengals are currently caught in as it relates to Hendrickson. They got lucky with Higgins and Chase because they didn't drive the bargain they could have. They're stuck with the Hendrickson situation. And this Shemar Stewart thing is just a stupid, unforced error that they have decided to dig their feet in over instead of getting the guy in the fold and getting him ready for week one.
Mike, they struggled on defense last year, to understate it. It was really a weakness of the team. They had multiple games. Joe Burrow had some great games last year. Look at the stats for the season. Incredible season, but they couldn't stop anybody. So when you say they prioritize profit over winning, they're proving it right now. What would be the best thing to do? You already got a new defensive coordinator who's going to be pretty good. But you have Hendrickson, one of the best pass rushers in football, and you're not going to pay him. You're not going to tear up his contract and make it competitive, market-level contract. And then you draft Shemar Stewart in the middle of the, late middle, first round. So it's not like you've drafted him in the top 5 and he's looking for some record-setting deal. At number 18, you have a pretty good sense of what that contract should be. So you have 2 defenders who could theoretically help you turn your defense around. We know Hendrickson can. I don't know if Stewart can, but pretty good prospect. And you're messing around with it, and it's June. What kind of message are you sending? It's just so tired. I mean, they do this all the time, and they just don't change. It's really, and I'm not a Bengals fan, obviously. It's hard to watch.
And I've seen different explanations about what's going on with Shemar Stewart and the Bengals. Here's the truth. And I'll see things on social media, and I'll see characterizations of what other reporters or insiders will say on other shows, and it's like, that's not really accurate. And I'm not going to call out the person or write a story about it. If somebody wants to be inaccurate, that's fine with me. I know what's actually going on, and it's very simple. Last year, Amarius Mims, taken at pick number 18 overall by the Cincinnati Bengals. He signed a contract, and there are not many things that you can really haggle over in the post-2011 rookie contracts. The dollars are set. You can fight over cash flow. When do I get my signing bonus? I know what my signing bonus is. It's all driven by a formula. When do I get it? Do I get it today? Do I get half of it today and half of it in 3 months? Do I get a fourth of it today, a fourth of it in 3 months, a fourth of it in 6 months, and a fourth of it a year from now? That's one of the things that you bargain over. The guarantee structure. Now, in round 1, everything's guaranteed. And one of the reasons why 30 of the 32 second-round players aren't signed yet is because they're trying to figure out how deep into round 2 the full guarantees are going to go. And there's a lot of waiting and watching, and I don't know. I don't want to be the next one to either, from the team perspective, give the 4-year guarantee, or from the agent perspective, not insist on 4 years fully guaranteed. But in round 1, it's all fully guaranteed. The only way to combat that is to put language in the contract that would allow the team to cut off the guarantee. See, it's your way out if the player stinks. Because we know, and, it's not regarded as good form during draft coverage to say, hey, folks, half these guys aren't going to pan out.
Right.
But we know half of them aren't going to pan out. So your escape hatch, Michael, is if the player does something that constitutes a default, you can stop his guaranteed money. That's the background for what the issue is here. Amarius Mims, last year, pick number 18. The way the contract was written, If he commits a default, which means suspended under the substance abuse policy, suspended under the PED policy, suspended for a certain number of games for something he might do on the field. You know, you get into a fight, you hit somebody over the head with their own helmet, whatever the case may be. Suspension for personal conduct policy. There's specific language, not showing up for training camp when you're under contract. If you default under the MIMS deal, the default voids your guarantee for this year. That's the way it was written. Now, other teams have always had language in there that once you have a default, it voids all your future guarantees too. And somebody in the front office apparently woke up between last year and this year, and they're trying to change the language of their standard first-round contract and get Shemar Stewart, who was taking a pick higher than Mims. So, I mean, one way it was explained to me is, hey, if this guy was like pick number 32, okay. But this guy was higher than Mims. You're going to change the language on a guy who was taken higher than Mims. Yeah, it's one spot, but still it's higher than Mims. And the way the language is now written, if there's a default, it wipes out all future guarantees. And that's what they're fighting over. That's where the Bengals are drawing the line in the sand. That's the hill they're choosing to die on. And it's stupid. It's stubborn. And it's the kind of thing that's blowing up in their face. So now, and this is like, Michael, how do you get yourself out of this corner you've painted yourself into without looking like a schmuck? That's what they're dealing with. Are we going to dig in just for the sake of digging in because we're right, even if it means our guy's not going to be ready to go week one? And he's not blinking. It really is.
He's got a little edge to it. He's not blinking. He's speaking up here.
Well, and at some level, he understands that what they're doing isn't right.
But this is what he's got to understand. Okay, if he really wants this to happen, and I say this kind of tongue in cheek, but I don't think I'm joking. I'm not joking about this. If he really wants to get a deal done, he needs to befriend the one and only, the guy, the closer in Cincinnati. His name is Joe Burrow. The only reason T. Higgins and Jamar Chase have the deals that they have, that both of them have deals, is because Joe Burrow called out the organization. I've never seen anything like it in Cincinnati. He's the antidote to Mike Brown, a little bit. So if Joe Burrow says, hey, what are we doing? There's a chance that this deal gets done. If he says, what are we doing? If he keeps saying it about Trey Hendrickson too, I think there's a chance of movement. Because he realizes this is really, it's about Shemar Stewart, but it's about Burrow too. And I think he realizes it, that he's got something special. He's a gifted quarterback. And we all know how good he is, but he's probably even better than we think. And he looks at the situation in Cincinnati. People are good to him. He's a god there. He's from the area. And so there's a partiality. There's an attachment to Cincinnati that Joe Burrow has.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.